even if you're lucky to find a church that's welcoming and there's no discrimination. It's not widespread. Why anyone would want to be a member of a group that's known for killing the most people in humanity's history, I will never understand. If the majority of religious people were accepting, kind, tolerant, and embraced each other's differences, religion wouldn't be as dangerous and toxic and deadly as it is today. And it's not just about support. It's about acknowledging that queer people are alive, that 80 million people are ace, that bi people are so common in the world, but they get erased due to not picking a side, even though you don't pick a side. You either are something or you're not. And people struggle to be seen in their own community, even in the queer community. Bi people and ace people feel like they're not represented, they're forgotten, or they're a joke. And if you don't fit in the main groups in a queer community, you might not even be represented in Pride. And I think just last month, a lot of ACE members went about trying to get themselves involved where they have representation, because a lot of times they're forgotten. Just because you abstain from something doesn't make you any less of an orientation. And every orientation is its own spectrum. Not every straight person wants to have a family, a relationship, or sex. And sometimes they want it more or less than what the toxic gender expectations are. I have no intention of having kids, getting married, or having relationships. I'm called asexual every day. And it's not a hormonal imbalance. Being in this toxic, extreme religious environment has put me off that for life. Seeing how unhappy it's made everybody else. And that's fine. Live your life the way you want to. The problem is very little of the church, very little churches in quantity, or even rarely consistently support people who are different. I don't want to be a part of any institution that consistently harms people by doing nothing, erasing, teaching horrible stereotypes, dismissing or forcing people to change. You can't make someone into something they're not, and you can't get someone to stop being who they are. It doesn't work. Unfortunately, only half of the US states is conversion therapy illegal. And usually when it's illegal, it's for people under the age of 18. Conversion therapy should be illegal regardless of age. If something causes extreme trauma, it should not be allowed to be accessible by the public. But they won't do it. A lot of countries like Canada, I believe, has completely illegalized conversion therapy, which is wonderful. And I've met hundreds of boys especially, but some women who have survived at these places. When the symbol of your religion, the Bible, tells you that people that God created this way can't be who they are, this is a toxic, abusive environment. And we're going to talk in future videos about each niche of the queer community and how each letter, are they accepted? Are they accepted but? Are they not accepted at all? And how different countries, including the US, reacts to these people. because every letter is unique and faces its own struggles, its own invisibility, and its own erasing agenda. And it's so important that every church accepts people. And if it's not consistent, and if people don't accept you without a but, you are in a ripe environment for horrible mental health, self-harm, depression, suicide, and abuse. And hopefully in the next few generations, we'll see a big shift where 9 out of 10 of the denominations supports, because that would be great. I wish we would move away from institutions that seem to never grow out of abusive discrimination. We need to stop doing the us versus them mentality. It's not helpful. When you divide and create groups and not unite groups, you start getting the fascist feeling, like Trump. And it's just not worthwhile for people. It doesn't help anybody. And it's not going to give us the end result we want.